Hey everyone, it's Professor Clark, and welcome to Chapter 8. In this lecture, we're going to learn about the past tense of the verb to be, which is very simple, and the past tense of the construction to have or not to have, which is not quite as simple, or it would be better to say it's not what we do in English, but it's still quite simple and straightforward, so I think you should have no trouble picking it up. Let's start with the past tense of the verb быть, to be. As you know, the verb быть is not normally used in the present tense. We normally only use it in the past tense or the future tense. And in the past tense, though, it functions like a completely normal verb, and it has the following completely normal forms: он был, она была, оно было, они были. And note the shifting stress. It has the feminine strong stress pattern that is very common with monosyllabic verbs. Now let's talk about having in the past tense, or how to form the past tense of the construction to have. As you remember, in the present, we use u plus genitive plus yeast, and then the nominative of the thing we have. Yeast is, in fact, the present tense of the verb быть, and so in the past tense, we just use the past tense of the verb быть that we just learned. So we could say у меня был, или была, или было, или были, something like that. So it's exactly the same construction with u plus genitive of the person doing the having. And then whatever was had is the subject of the sentence, and therefore the subject of the verb быть. And so it matches the gender of the thing that is had. For example, if you had something grammatically masculine in the past, you would use был. У меня был рюкзак. I had a backpack. If the thing you had was feminine, you would use the feminine form. So у тебя была книга. Did you have a book? Neuter, it would be neuter. So у Саши было занятие. Sasha had class. Or plural, you would use plural. У Сергея были очки. Sergei had glasses. So it's very straightforward. It's all forms you just learned or already know. You just have to remember that the thing that was had is the subject of the sentence, and therefore the verb has to match it in gender and number. Where things get a little trickier is when you don't have something or you didn't have something in the past tense. And just like in the present tense, if you didn't have something in the past tense, the thing that you didn't have has to be in the genitive. So we use the construction u plus genitive for the person doing the having, and then не было plus genitive for the thing that was not had. So it's genitive, genitive. For example, we say у меня не было рюкзака. I did not have a backpack. У тебя не было книги. You did not have a book. У Саши не было занятия. Sasha did not have class. У Сергея не было очков. Sergei did not have glasses. And note that we always use the form не было, не plus the neuter form of the verb. This is fixed regardless of the gender of either the person doing the having or the thing being had. And it always carries stress on the не. So we say не было. У меня не было книги. У меня не было компьютера. We can also use this same construction of не было plus genitive to indicate any kind of absence or lack in the past. For example, здесь не было общежития. There was not a dormitory here. Здесь не было библиотеки. There was not a library here. So this не было plus genitive can be used for any sort of negation, absence, or lack in the past, and it is always followed by the genitive. And so there you have the constructions for having and not having in the past tense. Again, it's not quite what we do in English, but it is fairly straightforward, and it does use all constructions and endings that you already know, so you should be able to pick it up pretty quickly and easily.